iPhones. It's not just the best-selling gadget ever created. It's probably the most influential one too. Since Steve Jobs announced the iPhone in 2007, Apple has sold close to 1.5 billion of them, creating giant businesses for app developers and accessory makers, and reimagining the way we live. Millions of people use an iPhone as their only computer, and their only camera, GPS, device, music player, communicator, trip planner, sex finder, and payment tool. It put the world in our pockets. Before the iPhone, smartphones mostly copied the BlackBerry. After the iPhone, they all copied Apple. Most phones now have big screens, beautiful designs, and ever-improving cameras. They even have notches, or cutouts at the top of their edge displays where the phone's front-facing camera lives. And the iPhone effect goes far beyond smartphones. In order to make so many phones, Apple and its competitors set up huge, whirling supply chains all over the world. Those same manufacturers now make the same parts to power drones, smart home gadgets, wearables, and self-driving cars. They don't look like your phone, but they might not be here without it. The invention of the iPhone. Jobs announced the iPhone on January 9, 2007, on stage at the Macworld conference. He spent nearly an hour explaining the device, extolling the virtues of everything from a touch interface to a huge desktop-sized version of the New York Times website that you could pan around. The phone didn't come out until 6 months after that initial reveal, during which time Apple frantically scrambled to turn Jobs' demo into a mass-market gadget. When it finally hit stores in June, people lined up outside stores to buy one. Apple sold 270,000 iPhones the first weekend it was available, hit 1 million by Labor Day, and instantly captured the imagination of phone owners everywhere. The iPhone 3, which came out a year later, may have been an even bigger deal. Apple's 2008 iPhone included support for 3 networks, which offered much faster access to email and web pages, and it came at a much lower price. Most important, it added the App Store, which gave developers a way to build and sell software to millions of smartphone owners. The App Store will almost certainly stand as Apple's most important contribution to both the tech industry and society in general, even more than the phone itself. Developers immediately began building apps and games that changed the way we communicate, work, eat, and play. The App Store made way for Instagram, Uber, and Tinder, and it turned the iPhone into the pocket computer it was always meant to be. From there, the iPhone's story is one of evolution, not revolution. Each year, Apple made the phone bigger and faster, refining the product without changing the basic form factor or its most beloved features. It became more popular every time. From the beginning, Apple seemed to know the camera could be a smartphone's best feature. The iPhone 4, with its selfie camera and a video recording, was the biggest thing in cameras since Kodak. Ever since, Apple's cameras have been among the best in their class. Where we go next? Apple's in a funny spot right now. Thanks to the huge, insane, impossible success of the iPhone, which accounts for more than half of the company's revenue. Apple is quite often considered the most valuable company in the world, although Amazon and Microsoft have been vying for this position as well. Of course, it's not like Apple's in any danger, as long as it's sitting on hundreds of billions in cash reserves. All of this just means that if Apple is going to stay on top, it needs to extract more value out of existing iPhone lovers, a strategy it has been aggressively pursuing. It has always billed the Apple Watch as something of a spiritual successor to the iPhone. Apple's smashing success proved to other big tech companies that the best products come when you make both the hardware and the software. Microsoft, Google, Facebook, and Amazon have all done the same in recent years, building huge gadget businesses on top of their software. The hardware space was once a teeming mass of startups. People raising money on Kickstarter or going to China to build their dreams into a product. Now the business runs mostly through 5 companies, all of whom learned how to make hardware by watching Apple. The iPhone didn't just make Apple a metric crap ton of money. It reoriented the entire tech landscape, helping change the way we work and play.